It's the deciding game of the grand finals of the European International Championships. Eric Rios versus Oliver Eskelin. Eric's Zacian goes for a play-rough into Oliver's Kyogre, and it misses. The crowd goes crazy. The commentators lament, but little did they know that this miss, won Eric his first international championship. But how did we get here? Eric Rios is one of the most feared players in the world. After making his debut in 2013, he managed to find immediate success in the Under-16 Seniors Division, finishing top 4 at the World Championships the following year. At the most recent World Championships in 2019, he finished top 8 along with fellow Spaniard Alex Gomez. After the pandemic, in 2022, he won the first European Regional of the Year in Liverpool, England, going 7-1 in Swiss before winning 3 rounds of Top Cut using the exact same team that he brought today. Groudon, Zacian, Charizard, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Gastrodon. These 6 Pokemon were first built by Rinya Kobayashi, a Japanese player, when he finished 6th in the February Online International Challenge. A week later, the team would see multiple placements in the Victory Road February Grassroots Tournament as Western players started to figure out how strong this team actually was. The next month, Chongjun Peng would go undefeated en route to winning the Salt Lake City Regional Championships with this team. A week later, Eric would win the Liverpool Regional Championships with the same team, and then 2 weeks after that, the Taiwan Regional Championships were taken down by Sai Qian using the exact same team. The European International Championships were happening 3 weeks later, and every single player attending knew that this was the team to beat. And yet, here it is in Grand Finals, once again, and Groudon is facing down its oldest rival, Kyogre. This is not a new sight. Every format these two Pokemon are legal, they have dominated. At the 2016 World Championships, we saw Kyogre take on and defeat Groudon. In Players' Cup 3 finals a year ago, Kyogre once again took on and defeated Groudon. But this year has been different. At both Salt Lake City and Liverpool, Kyogre got all the way to the finals and fell short both times. This time, Oliver Eskelin is piloting Kyogre, and VGC's Rising Star has shown that he is ready for the challenge. Oliver has been on the stage before in 2018, where as a senior he won the Under-16 Oceania International Championships. Since aging up the next season, he's been consistently good and was ranked 7th in Europe prior to this tournament, 5 spots behind Eric Rios. He had shown consistency, but he didn't have a big results to his name until now. This was his breakout performance, and it's going about as well as possible. Both players have 2 Pokemon left in the deciding Game 3. Kyogre had just switched in, meaning the rain was up to boost Kyogre's water attacks. Oliver had also brought his Landorus in twice earlier in the game, and its ability, Intimidate, had dropped Zacian's attack stat twice. There was one last turn of grassy terrain, a remnant from Oliver's Fallen Rillaboom, that would heal all grounded Pokemon and weaken a potential Earthquake from Landorus on this one turn before going away. The speed order was Zacian first, then Landorus, Kyogre, and then Groudon. Now, it's time for some damage calculations. Kyogre is at 84 HP. If this Zacian has a neutral nature and max attack, the play-rough is doing between 67 and 81 points of damage to it. Oliver's Kyogre is holding a Life Orb, which takes 10% of its total health as recoil after each attack in exchange for a 30% damage boost. In this case, that is 19 points of damage. If this play-rough hits, Kyogre will have between 3 and 17 hit points remaining, and the Ice Beam that takes out the Groudon will take out the Kyogre as well.
Both players just taking their time here.
Oh, play rough misses the Kyogre! Landorus able to go for the rock slide here, connecting down onto both the opposing Pokemon. Will it get the flinch on the opposing Groudon? Gets a critical hit, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, the Kyogre is able to go for the Ice Beam, targeting down into the opposing Groudon, and will be able to get the KO. That play rough miss was critical.
Is huge. That is a huge miss. Massive for Oliver. Really unfortunate for Eric here. If that connects, we still don't know, would it have been enough to knock out? It would have been very close, depending on how the Kyogre has been trained. But
that would leave this Landorus taking on the Zacian. After the Rock Slide and Grassy Terrain recovery, the Zacian is at 176 HP. Landorus is widely used because it naturally outspeeds Groudon and Kyogre by a point, and is almost undoubtedly trained to be max speed, max attack, with a jolly nature. As we saw later in the game, the Landorus lives one attack from this Zacian, but not two. Earthquake is a spread move, which means if it is going to hit multiple targets, then each target takes 75% of what it normally would take from the single target move. With Kyogre on the field, this Earthquake has no chance of KOing this Zacian, doing a maximum of 146 hit points. But if Kyogre had fainted, the Earthquake becomes a single target move, doing between 164 and 194 points of damage to the Zacian. If the player had hit the Kyogre, the Earthquake would have a 63% chance of taking a knockout and winning Oliver the European International Championship. Instead, they were left in an incredibly intricate game state. The veteran Eric was able to maneuver it perfectly, and in doing so became the champion of Europe, and Rinya Kobayashi's Sun Team continued its reign of dominance over the VGC metagame. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth VGC analysis. Thanks for watching.
But this is also a play as well, giving the protect, avoiding the Earthquake, especially if the Kyogre does not protect, and Oliver is going to go for it and knock his own Kyogre out from the Earthquake, from the Landorus, and this locks it up for Eric. He's made a perfect predict there with the protect, and he is going to be going on to become our European International Champion.